Hey, y'all, I'm Hobo Joe, and welcome to the Hobo Joe Radio Show. Tonight we have a short story I think you'll love. So sit back, pour a cup of coffee, put the cruise control on, and let's get into it. This one is called Mile Marker 137. The highway stretched endless under the moon's pale glow, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through the desert. Roy's rig rumbled, its headlights slicing the dark. He'd been driving for 20 years, hauling freight from coast to coast. But tonight was different. Tonight, the itch was back. It started small, anger at a tailgater, a honk that lingered too long. Then came the fantasies, swerving into them, watching their lights spin off the road. 3 months ago, he'd done it. A sedan cut him off near Tucson. Roy nudged it with his bumper just enough. It flipped into the ditch. He didn't stop. The news called it an accident. Now he hunted. Mile marker 137 glowed in his beams. A hitchhiker stood there, thumb out, a duffel slung over one shoulder, young, maybe 20, with a dumb grin. Roy slowed, tires crunching gravel. The kid climbed in, smelling of sweat and cheap beer.
Thanks, man. Going far?
Far enough, Roy muttered, shifting gears. The kid babbled about college, a breakup, some crap Roy didn't care about. The itch grew, clawing at his skull. He gripped the wheel tighter. 10 miles later, the road was empty. Roy pulled onto a turnout, brakes hissing. "Pit stop," he said. The kid nodded, hopping out. Roy grabbed the tire iron from under his seat, its weight familiar. He stepped into the cool night, the desert silent but for the wind. "Hey, you got a light?" the kid asked, turning. Roy swung, the iron-cracked skull a wet thud. The kid dropped, twitching once. Roy dragged him behind a Joshua tree, dumped the duffel, and wiped his hands on his jeans. Back in the cab, he lit a cigarette, the glow reflecting in his dead eyes. He drove on, the itch quiet for now. The radio crackled, some preacher yelling about sin. Roy smirked. Sin was just mileage, and he had plenty left to burn. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for trucking in. See you next time.